Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about eclipse energy. That's right, today we are talking about kind of eclipse energy is kind of like supercharged new moons and full moons. And it's kind of really interesting because we have these so often. Nowadays, we kind of just think of it as like, oh, it's no big deal. It's cool if you get a chance to look at it or whatever else. But we don't really realize the strength that they have. Now, our ancestors used to think of it as kind of like the end of the world, the apocalypse is coming, everything is going to change. But it's kind of somewhere in the middle of all of this energy that we really have to be aware of. A lot of times, like when we have a new moon, we can expect new beginnings or different things of our lives kind of starting new. We'll find maybe a new job just kind of jumps in our lap, or we have a full moon that just kind of like super releases a whole bunch of stuff for us. Well, an eclipse is even like that, but stronger. So when we have an eclipse that is really like pushing us to do something or kind of show us something, if there's a reason why we haven't gotten that new job or that new person in our life, that new eclipse energy is going to kind of really push us in this area to open up our eyes and see it for what it really is. And we may actually end up seeing things that we weren't really expecting. We might see someone else's energy in our way that's kind of blocking us. We may see other issues or problems even in our own thinking or mindset that is causing us not to get that new start in this area. And eclipses often, once they do that, kind of like, oh, the blinders are off. Now we kind of see things kind of speeding up, like, oh, I didn't realize this was causing an issue for me. And now that I do, I can let it go or change my thinking and zoom forward. And they'll push you in new directions. And a lot of times it's not a direction you thought like, oh, I thought I was supposed to get a new job and now this isn't coming true. And I see that my boss was holding me back and I changed jobs, but maybe I'm still not getting that new job. So you kind of get a chance to look at yourself in a new and different way of kind of like, what am I holding myself back in? Why am I not moving forward in this area? And a lot of times, like when you've been miserable in a job and you're kind of like, I want the new job. I want a new job. I want a new start in this. And then we often kind of decide like, oh, it'll come around when it's supposed to or whatever else. And that eclipse energy will literally open us up to new ideas like, oh, maybe I should start my own business, or maybe I should change careers. Maybe I should do what I'm doing here in a different field and I'll find the success I'm looking for, and kind of like really giving us that push into something new and different. No matter what sign you are, if you're a Virgo or Libra or Pisces or whatever else, the signs of the eclipse will really push us into different areas. We often deal with kind of like opposite energy from us. If our kind of like qualities are kind of like very fixed and very stable, and the eclipse happens in a very changing or amplifying energy, it will really amplify us. We'll take on that energy. And I tell you that a lot of times, like the planets in our birth chart will really tell us where it's going to fire things up. Where is that sign in our birth chart, and what is that controlling that will really just amp us up? It's one of those, I will tell you that kind of like the opposite signs will really kind of opposite from what you are. The true opposite of it is going to really amplify you. I think one of the things that's really important is to kind of understand as we get into our next eclipse energy of, what do we want to open up into? What is it that we're choosing to open up into? Not what is going to happen because the planets and the stars and what sign the eclipse is in, all of that, because that's already said. What is it that you're choosing to change in your life? What is it that you're ready to upgrade or release or let go of, or basically just start new? So because once we get into this really high octane lunation, it's going to really change how we kind of see our karmic path. What do we need to do, and kind of what's been keeping us from things. And once we see those, like I said, it's like all the lights are green and we're ready to go. And this can be really speaking to kind of speed up time of where should we be? You know, normally you would be, oh, in 5 years I should be here, in 10 years I should be here. That actually could change and modify. You could be there in 6 months, or you could be there in 9 months. It's one of those, it's how much you're willing to change. How much are you allowing this eclipse energy to open up to you and to change you? I will tell you that a lot of times when people really get into eclipse energy and understanding it, it really can amplify their energy and almost kind of, in a way, kind of change how we start looking at what's going on around us. Our moon has always mystified us, but I guarantee what you lift up to the moon during an eclipse energy will change, shift, or modify, usually fairly quickly. So you have to be ready for it on your side as well. It's one of those, our perspectives can change in very critical ways and change very, very quickly during an eclipse energy like we're about to have. So let's pull up some angel cards and let's see what else is coming through about our eclipse energy. So I'm asking my angels and guides to bring us some cards. This is one is just coming out right here about our upcoming eclipse energy. And this one is upside down, of course. This is about solar calm, and this is about clarifying. This is going to clarify what has been keeping you from your dreams. What is the energy that is coming in and kind of really working against you in some way that is keeping you from your dream life. So next one, this is the ascendant, and this is all about the entrance. The eclipse energy is really the entrance into making some huge changes in your life. What are the huge changes you're ready to make in your life? What are the huge changes you are ready to move into in your life? And lifting that up to the eclipse energy can really affect this. This is the North Node, and this is all about our future. And this can be really, really powerful. The North Node is all about coming up, kind of like our karmic path, like what path are we supposed to take? Where are we supposed to go in all of this energy? And that can be super powerful in making some amazing changes for our future. What we do today is going to change our tomorrow. And during an eclipse energy, it's what we change that day can change the next trajectory in our life, the next 6 months, 9 months, years, 10 years, 15 years down the way. It can literally modify all of that at the same time. This is our 6th house, and this is about sustainability. We can make changes that sustain and last a lifetime. Letting go of old energy, letting go of things that don't work for us, letting go of friendships that no longer really support us can be powerful. It can be very, very, very powerful. Our next one is the 1st house, and this is kind of all about our arrival. As we arrive to the eclipse energy, and even if you can't see the eclipse from where you are in the world, know that eventually that energy comes around our world. We will get it. It may take a little bit longer, but we'll get it there eventually. So make sure that you're doing some very powerful meditations during the eclipse energy. Even, like I said, even if it's not visible where you're at, it is coming to you. It will get that energy there. So make sure that you're opening up to that energy and asking for changes and almost demanding changes in the areas that you're ready for. This is the 10th house, and this is all about the authority. You have the authority to kind of really pick and choose where this comes in and affects you. You have the ability to change that. That's the fun part. My last one is Vesta, and this is about the hearth. So many times we don't want to change us. We want to change everybody else because it's easier. It's easier to say you change you and everything will be better, but it's not always better. So it's one of those, know that this is something that's coming up not only for you, but for me and so many other people all around the world. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.